This is Don Lemon going off regarding a hearing where Wesley Hunt pushed back against their claims that they're putting black folks back into Jim Crow.
Talk from my colleagues on the left too, as we shift toward this reinvigorated talk about Jim Crow and the past of this country. And as someone who is a direct descendant of a slave, as someone whose great-great-grandfather was born on a plantation, I can assure you, slavery is over. Jim Crow is dead. When I go anywhere, I don't see any white-only signs. I don't, I promise you. I am a black man that represents a white majority district in Texas. The great-great-grandson of a man born on a plantation stands before you today as a proud conservative Republican from Texas, as a believer and follower in Christ, and as a believer in what this country can be if we allow equality for not just Muslim Americans, not just Buddhist Americans, but also Christian Americans like yourself. God bless you, young man. You give me a lot of hope for the future of this country.
What kind of self-hatred and delusion must you have in order to even think something like that? How do you even look in the mirror? How do you sleep at night? What do you tell your kids? What do you tell your kids? What do you tell your black kids? Because I don't know. I think maybe he's, in an interracial marriage. I have nothing against that, but your kids are still black, right? Because you're in an interracial marriage. So what do you tell your kids? How do you deal with your constituents? He says, well, I'm in I'm a majority white.
Again, you see how they try. He's interracial. One parent is black, one is white. Oh, but you still got black kids. So you're still oppressed. It's just stupid. But you see how they play on it. They don't care about the whiteness. Do you understand what I'm comparing the redistricting that we're talking about now to Jim Crow segregation? It really cheapens the real suffering that black folks endured during actual Jim Crow. Okay, but these people, they don't care. They don't even care about black people voting. They just want to emotionalize this thing and create the idea that black people are having issues with voting to get people out to the polls. This is what they're doing. Shelley, what are your thoughts there?
So to Don, all I want to say this. Let me ask you this question. How much more self-hatred and self-delusion can you have being fake married to white massa, who literally you let massa fuck you?
Oh my God.
How much more deluded can you be? Delusional can you be? A white man that you hate, these white people that you hate, they all slave, but you got a whole personal massa just giving it to you, Dawn, every damn night.
Ooh.
Right there, massa. That's the spot. That's the spot, massa.
Yeah. Nicole, what are your thoughts?
Don't be coming to me next, KJ. Don't you come over here. Oh my God. Listen, Wes Hunt is a great guy. He's an amazing human being, and I've had the great pleasure of meeting him several times. One of the things that I think that people kind of lose when they're looking at Wes Hunt is not only is he a well-educated Black man that has a very typical Black American family structure. He's a West Point graduate. He served his country proudly. He's married to a white woman. They have some beautiful kids. Byron Donalds down in Florida is married to Erica. She's my whole homegirl. Love me some Erica Donalds. She's also a white woman. So for me, the color so much doesn't matter. But apparently on the other side of the aisle, color matters so much that they're willing to dig up old Jim Crow. Jim been minding his business, resting in his grave. They just keep reviving Jim and bringing him back. I think what are we? Jim Crow 4.0 at this point? We didn't pass 2.0. Remember, Joe Biden said 2.0 during his election cycle. This is, like KJ said, an appeal to emotionalism for a certain subset of the African-American culture. But like I said earlier, here's what they're not counting on. These Black kids behind us, these well-educated Black children and white young children, they're not as color struck. They're not as race baity as we are. I mean, this is a thing for us, but these kids date everybody. One day they're dating Korean, next day they're dating.
But that's the crazy thing. The same thing about Don Lemon. They are dating white folks, and then on the next breath, they're saying, "Oh, these white folks are keeping me down. They're oppressing me."
Well, nobody's oppressing Don Lemon. Listen, if Jim Crow 4.0.
Massa is pressing it good. Whip it, Massa. Whip it, Massa. Whip me.
No, I wouldn't say that. No,
I'm going to say
now, Don Lemon. His Massa is not oppressing him. He's plunging him. He's plugging him.
He should not be speaking on this man's children. Is somebody who's never going to have none unless he buys them from Target. He's not going to have any kids. He must be cruising for a bruising, because I'm telling you, that's one way to get your nuts kicked in, is talking about somebody's kids when clearly you do not have the authority to do so. That is so foul, so out of bounds. And this is not how we do politics in the United States, but this is how
this is the man who went into a church as they were in service and held a protest. He telling people that they need to look within because they were supporting closed borders. He broke up the church. This man has no scruples. He has no manners. He has no shame. All right. He has none.
Right.
What he's going to have is some bunkmates when he goes to federal prison.
What he does have is ass for Massa tonight. That's what he has. He has ass for Massa, so he can get his tonight, because Massa is going to whip his ass and he's going to love it. Hit the spot, Massa. That's what he's going to say.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. But this is what I'm talking about. You can remove it, production. This is what we're talking about. These people, I don't know if I'm as positive as you are, Nicole, because I've seen some of these young Black people that are in these leftist institutions, and they come from wealth, they come from privilege, and all this type of stuff, and they're saying the same, they're quoting the same lines as the Democrats. They are being told in these institutions, private schools, that they are oppressed, that the white folks are keeping them down, that they have no agency, that they live in a country that is systemically racist, and that it's so much so that they can't get ahead. They won't be able to get ahead. I have seen this. It is something that they say over and over again. Now, I think there probably are some that may not feel this way, but honestly, I think the most of them do. I don't
know. I'm gonna say this, KJ. It's hard to feel like you're oppressed when you have the latest of everything. When you feel oppressed and you go outside and get in your Beamer and drive off, eventually reality is going to sink in, and it happens.
No, not for them.
Think back to when you were a young person and everything was coming up roses and flowers and you had less responsibilities. The world was a different place. What I'm saying, as they grow older, hopefully wisdom will come.
No,
hopefully wisdom will come.
They are past that part.
Very optimistic.
They are firmly believing what they put out, and it's twisted, it's warped. I mean, certainly for the Don Lemons of the world, who has a white man on his arm as a spouse. And he talks about being oppressed. I mean, how deluded can you be? I mean, that is self-delusion.
I think smart people, wise people see it the way I do in this regard, that you can't be oppressed when you get paid $1 million an episode. Now, if that's oppression, oppress me right now. Go ahead and just do what you got to do. But it's hard to be oppressed when you're incredibly filthy rich. Tell me about Jim Crow when you turn on all of these liberal stations and almost all of their news programs have a majority Black hosts on it. Tell me again about your oppression. You cannot tell me that when you're living the life that the ancestors who were oppressed couldn't even conceive. They could never conceive that a gay Black man married to a white man who makes $1 million an episode actually would exist, let alone be on TV. They couldn't conceive that.
We're living in a different time now. I mean, you literally have millionaires within Hollywood who believe this.
The thing that annoys you the most about capitalism?
There's a long list. Where do I start? The only people that really benefit are the top 0.003%.
Agreed. It's very simple. It's just way too imbalanced. There's no way you need to have all that damn money if people out here and can't eat.
Capitalism is a system of evil that is oppressing all of us in a hamster race in which the majority of people cannot win.
How do you figure out a way to make capitalism work for everyone when you kind of need someone to be poor for someone to be rich?
I don't know. That you think that putting other people down is the only way that you can win.
Okay, well, we're in late stage capitalism. So if you don't love it, it's almost over.
The unfairness of the entire system.
The idea that we can't all win together, I hate that. That's what comes from this all, because we can't. Why not?
Oh, like currency is made up, credit is made up, debt is made up. Why do people have student debt?
Why are we all grinding? Why are we all working so hard to make money for who? Who is this for?
My rant is that capitalism is the greatest evil in the world. But like the people that are like, oh, but like, don't you enjoy the nice things? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I do. And also, I would be okay with it if it meant that more people in the world could live without oppression. Like, hello.
Okay, those are weird people, KJ. And a couple of them, I don't even think they're American. But let's not do that. Let's talk about, what's her name? The girl, the singer, Billie Eilish.
Keke Palmer.
Who walked it? Well, Keke Palmer, she got some issues, and we all knew that.
That was Lakeith. What's his name? All of them are American.
They believe that mess.
They don't believe that mess. They don't believe that. Again, let's go back to Billie Eilish. She was like, we're on stolen land until the tribe sued her for her damn mansion.